What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sideline to Baseline with your hosts, MB and K Lou.
K. Lou.
Man, I'm excited. MB, a lot of stuff happening right now, and it's just fun right now. Obviously, you got the NBA Finals. My favorite time, every 4, or I guess in this instance, 5 years. The Olympics is rolling around, MB, and if you notice, I find a way to stick something about the Olympics in there. And today is kind of sad news. Obviously, the big news was Coco. Um,
Coco.
yeah, Coco Golf, the young tennis sensation,
Yep.
no longer 16. She's 17 now. She getting old, y'all.
25th in the world, baby. 25th
Yes,
ranked.
she had to cancel her Olympic dreams due to COVID. And so of course I'm like, dang, that's like the third athlete that I knew about. So I said, let me see what's going on with this COVID thing, and found out that what's not being talked about is a lot of people around them are popping up with COVID. So not a lot of athletes, MB, but Olympic staff that are working along, helping. Obviously, you need a support staff. The athletes just can't be in a bubble in Olympic Village by themselves. They got to actually have people, cooking for them and massages and you name it for an athlete. It's got to be there. And some of these people, I think this article said, 55 people have popped up with COVID, MB.
Yeah, it's definitely a combination. I think nobody's immune to it as far as from athletes to support staff, doctors, coaches. I mean, I think it's consistent. It's been definitely a variety of people. And then also, you got to factor in the contact tracing. That's playing a role as
Right.
well. I know just the basketball team, Levine, Zach Levine just tested or went into the protocol.
Right.
And then I know Bradley Bill, he had to lead a team.
Right.
And then it's another player, the Grant from Detroit, he had to
Right.
go
Right. Yep.
contact tracing. So he had to it affect him. So, I mean, it's affecting everybody, man, in some way or fashion, either directly or indirectly. It's definitely, then a gymnast, one of those backup gymnasts, she just tested positive, and then another lady, another gymnast had to go quarantine. So it's definitely affecting everybody. Nobody's immune to it.
Right. And it's tough because obviously, they doing the football way, next man up philosophy. So as people falling off like the basketball, we had two new ones. JaVale McGee jumped on board along with the rookie sensation, Anthony Edwards, right? He came on.
No, no. It
It
was
was
it
Johnson.
was Johnson from San Antonio.
Why did I think?
Johnson
And
from San
I
Antonio.
know why I thought Anthony Edwards because he had been playing really well with the USA team select,
Select,
and
right?
they thought they would go with him first. So that's
Yeah,
that's why that
yeah.
Johnson. I mean, excuse me. Anthony Edwards came in my head. But like you said, the gymnast, she'll have to get replaced. And so I said, MB, are the Olympics in jeopardy? And then after that, are we gonna see every country's best?
Yeah, so it's the Olympics in jeopardy. I think there's so much money that's been invested. I think Tokyo put like 15 billion at least from articles I read. I seen from 15 to 30 billion dollars.
Right,
So I think that no matter what at this point, especially the schedule to start on the 23rd. I
right,
think I think it's full go ahead, and they're gonna try to do as much restrictions until they have to stop. But I just think you're right as far as seeing the best. I mean that's something that you that we've been accustomed to in the sense of you see with NBA, not because of
right.
COVID, but injuries and things like that. Because it's sometimes it's the best get affected in some form or fashion. So So obviously with our basketball team, we're not getting the best, and then it was already a question mark about the team, and then with Bradley Beal being hurt, now Bradley Beal being affected, now Zach LaVine being affected, the guy Lee. Now the cover is bare. I think they only got like 8 players, and they got additional 3 that's still playing in the NBA playoff. So
Yeah.
it's gonna affect us anyway. And you talk about tennis with Coco. You add Serena to the list, so right, wrong, or difference. I don't know if COVID the main culprit, but a lot of people, for whatever reason, they're not playing.
It's I was thinking I think when you were talking, it's interesting how this Olympics may play itself out, having losing top athletes and then may or may not being able to replace them. Obviously, you're going back to your depth, the people who lost. But I'm looking at this NBA and I'm saying, man, you're one. Here's what I thought about actually, MB. Why they ain't put out Adam Silver over this Olympic committee, man? Because Adam would have had him in the bubble. NBA, shucks, that's the only league that I know that did it right and I don't remember if they had one person pop up positive, and the only one I remember winning the protocol was Lou, because he left the building. But you look at this situation, and I'm not sure they're restricted, MB, and obviously the people that are support staff aren't restricted. So I think that kind of they got to think about that, because man, every 4 years, a lot of people livelihoods are made, with this situation. And like, to see people, to be watching this and you hear about, oh, so-and-so just had to pull out, and that might have been one of the favorites, or it could have been a person that upset everybody. I'm a little bit nervous. Like I say, MB, this is the funnest time for me every 4 to 5 years, I guess now, but or 3, 4 to 5 years, because they're gonna get back on track. So I'm afraid, MB. I'm just afraid of the outcome. I agree with you. I'm not thinking that they're gonna shut it down, but I want to see everyone's best. And being already let down by Sha'Carri, then I want to see everybody else best at least. And we're not gonna be able to get that, it looks like.
Well, you said a lot. I think, first of all, from a NBA bubble standpoint, it's just way too many people. You're talking about over 90-some countries being represented, over 100 to 200,000 athletes, whatever the number is. 2,000, not 200, whatever the number is, and the support staff and all that. It's just too many people, and then but they're, so, and then you look at this, a lot of people, what we're talking about is people like Coco. She's not even there yet. She already tested positive. Zach LaVine, Bradley Beal, not even there, wasn't even there, and they tested positive. So a lot of these positive tests is happening before people get there. And then once they get there, then the Tokyo government is obviously, they requiring them to test before they come. Then once they get there, they're going to test them again. Then they got to go quarantine. They got to be there 5 days prior before. So they got a lot of stuff in the place trying to test this stuff. And then now it's just, piling up, So it's a combination of people, when you talking about from all the different countries coming, they testing them and then get popped there and this and that. So it's just a lot of different fires to put out, So I don't know what you can and cannot do. I was trying to get more about what they're doing, but
right.
And then they're limiting them. They're trying to keep everybody. They can't go, because Japan, Tokyo, they got one of the lowest, rates.
Right.
And only like 14%, I think, of the population of vaccine. And so they're trying to keep their numbers high. But just this past week, it spiked up. And so they got a lot of restrictions from that standpoint. If you can't, it's no, going in the city, you can't ride public transportation. You can't do this, you can't do that. You get tested, this and that. So I don't know. It's a lot of different stuff in place,
Man. Well, yeah, it's just again, I want to see everybody's best. And hopefully we get that. Now I will tell you this, MB. The first actual positive test that I read about was early last week, maybe even last weekend. Um, it was a Nigerian team, and one of their coaches popped positive, and then like a day or two later, one of the athletes um got positive. So that was, the first, and that was there. That was actually in Tokyo.
Yeah, that's when they arrived. They got
Right.
tested. So that,
Right.
from what I'm understanding, they arrived.
But
That's what I'm saying. Either you get tested before you got to test before you come. Then when they arrived, the guy, from my understanding, they got tested and found out he was positive. Then
correct. But the second guy, the actual athlete, one was a coach, one was an athlete. The athlete was in Olympic Village when he popped positive. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So he actually made it inside the gate.
Still, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know, because you just think about it, like what happened as it goes on. You got everybody in the Olympic Village,
right?
And then now, I mean, all it takes one person, like you said, post, they get it, and it starts spreading, and it can affect. So it can affect this thing as they're going on.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like it can affect, like, when you get this many amount of people together from all different countries, and you trying to test it, best you can. It's still, I mean, once it get going, it's still, you talking about what, 2 weeks of competition,
Right.
Everybody in the village, you're traveling, you're trying to, I mean, it's only, so it's definitely, you got to hold your breath and wait and see to the end, because you can have your player over there and be ready to go. And then God forbid, he or she can get tested positive as once the competition gets started, and, and then now, or contact tracing, and then now what are you going to do?
Right. So moving right along, you mentioned when you was mentioning positive people for COVID, you named a lot of basketball and obviously the finals going on. MB, I think that thing getting tight, man. They getting around by it like this. It's looking like a little choke city for these Phoenix Suns, MB. They dropped game 5. Now they're down. Obviously started out 2-0. Bucks, tied at 2-2. Now Bucks went up 3-2. Can they, and I think Chuck said it. I think Orlando said it. They felt like this would go 6, but they said Phoenix in 6. Can the Bucks do it at 6, MB?
Well, I hope not. I mean, I'm cheering for the Phoenix. I mean, but you was calling the Phoenix Sun last show. You was calling them front runners.
Yeah.
So no, I'm still pulling on the Suns. I think Monty Williams and those guys, they built for this moment. Like they said, he's got a saying. He said, "What we want is on the other side of hard." And obviously, them getting what they want, they definitely made it hard on themselves, jumping out into an early 2-0 lead, and now they lost 3 in a row, which they haven't done since January of the season. So they're definitely in an unfamiliar position. But like he said, their goals or what they want is on the other side of hard. He's like, man, it's a price to pay to get what we want, and so they understand. And I think mentally, those guys are ready to go, man, to get it done.
MB, you got to explain it to me better than that, man.
Like
you up 2-0. You dropped 3 in a row. That's more than that. That's coach speak right there, MB. I love Money, and I'm a fan. And I thought that he was robbed for coach of the year. I've been complaining the whole time. Everybody mentioning, now they want to talk about boy wonder Devin Booker, Chris Paul for MVP. And I was on the other side of that, always screaming Monty Williams. So I'm a fan too. I love what he did and how he changed the program. But at the end of the day, LB, you don't go up 2-0 and then drop 3 in a row and nothing. Like, in nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? Like, obviously, in those first 2 wins, something you were doing was working. yes, the other team's gonna make adjustments, but then you shut it down. You don't adjust off of that. I say go back. Obviously, what I talked about last week, MB, is still paying paying big for them. Putting Drew Holiday on Chris Paul. Well, shoot, call Aiden back up there, man. Try to get Brook, man. Every time you see Lopez in the game, Chris Paul, you call his number.
Caleb,
I think it's more to it than what Monty's saying. I think they choke City. I think they front ran MB, and I don't have any faith. How can they turn it around? Like, why would they turn it around?
Resiliency, man. Reflection. Like, what
We lost you.
Y'all can hear me?
I hear you now.
Yeah, I mean, hey, to me, man, what's the line from Remember the Titans, man?
Oh, wow.
To reflect leadership, man. And to me, their coach built for this, man. He got a lot of resiliency and stuff like that.
Wow.
When you look at the situation, I mean, obviously, man, Giannis is a big part of it. And, man, but, you know, God, it's a couple games, man. He needs to win. So, I mean, this last game, you know, at one point they were up 14 points. Drew Holiday was in foul trouble earlier, jumped up 16-point lead. You know, when you look at it, man, they shot over 50% from the field, 68% from 3-point. I mean, when you look at the stats, man, it's like, man, they should have won the game. But then now, they again gave away again 2 games in a row. So I see more self-inflicted wounds. Not to take anything from Milwaukee, because Milwaukee definitely turned up a big beef starting to play this last game. But to me, Phoenix, man, they can get it done. I think the adjustment that they made is to me that I got away from it. Is you got to see more of the pick and roll. You know, to me, they're not doing that enough.
Right.
Because they're feeding Booker so much from last when he had 10 points. And now they trying to feature him more. But I think they need to get back to that 2-point that made them Booker. Because, man, I'm still not convinced that Milwaukee has fit that Rubik's crew had solved that problem, you know? So,
and I'm with you, MB. I'm with you completely, because when you look at Chris Paul, he's not doing what he was able to do those first 2 games. As far as like he not only did his thing, but he did a whole lot for the team as well. And he had 11 dimes last night. And I mean, that's classic Chris Paul. But I don't ever
he only had 1 turnover.
Right. But I don't ever really believe that he controlled the game like we're used to him doing. MB, to be honest with you, they've turned into a more one-on-one team. And y'all, and you know, Chuck and Orlando was telling us they did a heck of a job with team ball movement, and they loved what they were doing offensively with working the ball. I remember even game 1, even in the highlights, MB, they were showing what a ball touch, like, you know, went 6 different passes, 7 different passes before a shot, and it was money. Like, you're not seeing that anymore. You're seeing a lot of Devin one-on-one, a lot of Chris one-on-one. You know, maybe a drive and a kick is the best that we're getting with that same movement that they had earlier.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about earlier. You know, the adjustment they made on offense was after that Devin Booker 10-point outing. You know, they made a point to him the ball, double screen, come over top, and all that stuff like that. And they got away from like what you just talked about, team ball. You see a little bit of it the first period on because Crowder get his thing, Miles Bridges get his thing, you know. But really, like you're saying, they're depending more on one-on-one, and and that's not who they are, man. They play great as a team. So yeah, I just want to say it's one of the best little teams in the NBA season. So definitely gonna have to, if they want that, like Monty say, hey man, we just got to get back on the plane, you know, win one and back on. You know, they definitely want to get that done, and they got to definitely take this thing on the road and get it done. Unfortunately, like Milwaukee, though, when you talk about, I mean, this Milwaukee, you know, they was 2-0 Brooklyn with the Nets, and they got blown out. We was like, it's a finish. But then they showed some resilience and stuff, got it back, you know, and then obviously Brooklyn injuries and stuff that helped them out. But I mean, the Milwaukee Bucks is a resilient team, especially if Giannis on hard paint. But then when you get Holiday and Milton, you know, off the milk carton and showing up, you know, man, that's
come on, man. Don't do them like that. I explained to y'all and I showed and proved to y'all they've been there the whole time. You just want them playing outside of themselves, but they've been there the whole time.
Eric, they like I said, they show up. They especially Milton show up when they're aggressive and whatnot. But in that regard, but that's the whole thing. You like, man, they need to show up, and so they're showing up. They showed up, especially last Holiday. I mean, he had a good game,
right?
But he's I mean, and then Milton, man, he's aggressive, and when you talk about adjustments. Thing at this point that I Milwaukee do is that they made at sometimes Milton be the guard, he'll bring the ball up, you know, then go to Giannis, Holiday, you know, they getting those guys involved, and then they're running the Giannis, as you talk bad about it, he's a good facilitator. I mean, he's finding the open guy, you know, and then you got Porters, you got other white dude, they got him coming in and stuff like that. So they're playing better team ball right now, you know. That's what the offense seeing much better ball movement. Damn, it's almost like they're switching plays, switching roles, and they're now Milwaukee playing team ball, obviously get better ball movement, and then as Phoenix doing more one-on-one.
Yeah, Matthew Connaughton, I think is the name you're looking for.
Yeah, that's he's playing some key shots. Porter's playing some key shots. But what?
Yeah, I think though, MB, it's crazy, but I think all Giannis has to have is a MVP night. Either one of these nights, and I think he closes it out, whether it's game 6 or 7. You know, he's only had one of those this series. And he has another one, and they actually lost the one that he had it in. If you remember, I think he hit like 42.
He had two 40-point games and they lost.
Oh, okay. So the first 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had 2 40 points. So go ahead, finish your point.
Yeah, so I really feel like if he can have another special night, especially with the confidence, and I think where Phoenix done messed up, MB, is Chris Middleton don't think they can guard him at all. Mm-hmm. He's not a volume shooter like that, MB. He's a high percentage shooter that, you know, takes really good shots. He's going one-on-one. That's not even his game. He's going one-on-one now. So his confidence is sky high, and I just feel like if Giannis can play like that one more time, and the confidence that Chris Middleton has right now, and Drew is just gonna be that guy that's gonna get you 18. I don't see how they stop it. Yeah, Lou said they also use Jeff Teague a lot more on defense to nullify Cameron Payne. I thought that was smart too, because Jeff still got a few little treads on the tie, MB.
Yeah.
But
I'm glad to finish up because when you have a MVP performance, I was like,
MB,
he had that in the first 2 games,
you going in and out bad.
I don't know. I'm Wi-Fi still there.
You whooping them? Hey, what's your name? What's your neighbor code, MB?
No, it's mine.
Send me your neighbor code. I'm gonna use his too.
It's mine. I need to get upgraded. I guess. Is it? Can you see me?
Yeah, I see you, but you know you really delayed, and then it's your voice is bad.
Oh wow. I don't know what's going on.
It's been like that for a while, but it was actually, you could understand you. Now it's getting tough to understand. That's why I think I repeated something that you said, I think, and I didn't even know you said it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's raining up here, so I don't know. Maybe the weather got something to do with it, but I don't know.
So what do you think, MB? You think they win 2 in a row? They, and win it?
Yeah, like I said, I'm going for the Phoenix. I want money to win, man. I think Bill Fist,
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna set it on.
Okay. Yeah, I think he's struggling a little bit. I think he's going with Phoenix. My attitude is I'm just surprised that they can lose 3 in a row. I don't know how you come back from that. I really don't. I mean, obviously it's possible, but and I think the stats on the 0-2 start by Milwaukee played heavy favorite. I think they said they 35-0 in the finals, the team that goes up 2-0. And maybe Phoenix read that and they really thought it was a wrap. But I mean, that's a lot of momentum. In sports, we talk a lot about confidence. We talk a lot about momentum. We talk a lot about being in a position to just, like no matter what happened, because I think MB and I can attest to this. He can attest to it in college. No matter what the score was, it was like you knew you were going to win. And you had no doubt that you were going to win. And I think Milwaukee might be feeling that right now, MB.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely got all the confidence, especially now you go back home game stuff. They've been pretty stout at home, So they definitely, man, got the confidence. 3 in a row. They got a team on the road, But yeah, no doubt. I definitely and like I said, from a personal standpoint, I got Phoenix Suns. He's gonna show why he should have been coach of the year and get this thing going, man.
Well, Jerome said it's over Tuesday night, MB.
Well, they say well, the Bucks fans were saying Bucks and 6. I was there. It was 0-2.
I know, MB. That's funny. Yeah, well, nobody said that. I was on the other side too. And then Jill said the Suns have to find a way to incorporate, I guess, Cam Johnson more into their game plan. Kid is not afraid of the pressure and has game. Jeff, that's an easy answer right there because I know Pac Jam was talking to me last week, poo-pooing all over Chris Paul and saying that, Cameron Payne need to play more. And I was like, nobody's ever doing that. You're not going to take the guy who got you there and then bench him. Like, tell me when that's been done. And I was arguing with Pac Jam. I said, you wouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like, it's just like amazing. And I'm like, especially a star like that. If he's been a star for you all season long, you're not going to bench him. You're gonna ride with him because you're going to remember all the times he got you out of situations. So that's just tough for me to think. So my answer to you, Jeff, is whatever the rotation has been, it's going to continue to be that way unless he comes out and he's lights out. That's the only way teams will alter their lineups and stuff like that. And a guy that you thought, should be playing like I'm talking about, maybe not get a lot of minutes, is because you got a guy like Cam that comes in and in 8 minutes rattles off 12, 14 points. Now all of a sudden you're going to ride with him. And you're going to ride him till he say stop. But if that's not happening, Jeff, I don't think Cam going to get the same minutes he been getting.
Well, I don't know. He's talking Cam Johnson.
Yeah.
So
Right. With
So,
Phoenix.
I know you talking about Pat was talking about Cameron Payne.
Right. What I was saying was he
No,
was
I know what you're saying. I think with
okay.
Cam Johnson though, I think you can make that adjustment because far as right now, if Mo Bridge not do his thing, you can incorporate Cam at the 3 position, right? And now if he's got the hot hand to get it going, I mean, to me that's an easy adjustment, you know, because Miles Bridge, he had that one game, then he started off good the last game, but then he fed in the foot. But he's one that's playing good D as well. I mean, well, you can argue he was playing good D against because he on Middleton. But yeah, you can. It's easy, I think, to incorporate him more into the game plan.
People don't change their rotations at this point, though. It don't happen unless, like I said, a guy playing lights out.
We saw the Clippers, man. They managed the injuries. I mean, he tried to.
Pat Bev was hurt. Pat Bev was hurt. That's what happened.
No, Pat Bev was not hurt.
He was. He was. It was a hurt where he still could play, but he was nursing an injury. MB.
K. Lou, he was not hurt. He because what's his name? Luka put that joke. He was hurt mostly.
Okay.
Say, man, you can't give me too small, bro. You're too small. It's like talking to him like you too small. You can't do your research. Look at that.
So you talking about the Mavs series? Okay, I thought you were talking, but yeah, that's easy though. Another guy.
With what's the name? He don't care about changing up the thing. Like he was looking for the right combination.
Okay,
you know, with big ball, trying to find that way. So Tyrone had.
That's different if you getting exposed on defense though. Like you can't guard a guy. I mean, what Jeff was talking about is him being able to score and put up points on offense. So I was speaking on that side of the fence, and I was saying they're not really going to alter very much if he ain't lights out.
What I'm saying with Clippers, Tyronn Lue, I gave you talking about Pat Bell. That's just one example. He changed his lineup so much trying to find the right when they get the hand out there to get it going. Tyronn Lue, that dude was not afraid to change the lineup and the hot hand.
I think that's
because you saw different guys. You saw him use different combinations to get that thing going. So when you talk about Justin, remember this the dude. I mean, he pressurized somebody just a few games ago, and then this dude's a good shooter. So that's a small adjustment. They need to do that, and I've seen people get that done. You know.
Okay, but I think using the Clippers is a bad example. Because they ain't had, I mean, they used a million lineups all during the year. This is a different situation. Like the Clippers didn't have a lineup, if you really want to be honest about it. You know, that's load management city. And heck, how many games did again the same thing happened to them that happened a year before? How many games did they big two play together? So I think but this team that he's talking about and normal teams that we're used to seeing in the NBA, you know, they have their system, they have their guys, and they go with them. And yes, you're right. Cam and Mikal Bridges, that's not a hard switch, but it's a switch they haven't really made. And I just think they have more confidence in Mikal Bridges right now. And I think Cam Johnson can earn more time, but he has to earn more time. It's not going to be a situation where he's just going to sub him and say, okay, go do what we know you can do. No, he's going to have to come in there off the bench, put in work, and earn the minutes. It happens all the time.
Well, here's a Warriors when they beat Cleveland Cavaliers. All right, they made the switch with what's the name? Eagle Dog put him starting up off the bench. So now he on line. They changed the whole lineup. They made that one move, right? And that ended being an effective move. All right, just because Seeing stuff like that on a mind, as far as trying to get extra shooters, trying to get around, or you made mind change because you want to go small ball or you want to do that. So you have seen a lot more of that take place, you know. When you talk,
I don't know. I mean, you can always pick. You can always find one or two moves, but this ain't the norm. It's just not.
Yeah, I mean, just an example of somebody knows, since you say not the Clippers, but I brought in Tyronn Lue because that joke.
Yeah, but he's done it all year because he's been forced to. It ain't no situation he really wants to do. No coach wants to go in there having. I mean, you know that, MB. You don't let your linebackers, let you have a crew of linebackers that you don't know who gonna play. You know what I mean? Like they've been injured all year. You don't want that. Like you're not trying to live like that. But Tyronn Lue had to do it all year. So if you've been forced to do that before, yeah, in a championship game or a playoff game, any game, MB, you switch it out because you've been doing it all year. You ain't had the jokers all year, so it don't mean the same. But if you had your crew, are you making an adjustment like that for all the marbles? And you know what you was getting out of this guy, you know, your three guys, if you know, I mean, if you in a 4-3 or your four guys, if you in a 3-4, are you gonna make a change like that in a big game like this? And knowing that this joker right here, he get it done for you, but you benching him because of a look you don't like.
Yeah, I on a where you change one guy, put one guy in, just match up, or he's playing more productive. You get him. So I seem to have, you know, a different example of Golden State, but I just think about the Clippers because I remember that Reggie Jackson, he been up, and it was like this is what he went with, and that dude responded. You know, there's some balls to put through the lineup, and it's not injury related. You know, so and then I remember one time like my cousin, he had and what's his name? I was like, man, this dude got the balls to make this lineup, the changes, to put him in. So, he's Cam. I understand what he's saying, and like I said, I think making a one piece that to call it that's
right,
and a lot of people have done that. I'm trying to think of another example, you know, because there's a lot of examples like that. You like, ooh, are we standing here be more outside shooters because da 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 da, or this guy got the height hand, you know, to get this thing around. Especially teams, look at it. If they feel like, man, they got to get something jump start or something like that, you can see them making a move, whatever move be to them going, you know, hey, you know, they this up, get that going, boom, and coaches make those moves like that, you know. But I agree with you, no mass change ups and stuff like that, especially if you've been running your system, stick what you're doing, you know.
Yes, sir. Dick and Mo, what's good, baby? Hey, look, so Luke came back, say it makes me doubt them also. I think he talking about Phoenix. They played really well and still lost. Like you say, K. Lewis, more one-on-one instead of team ball. Phoenix has the shooters to kill the Bucks if they move the ball and use their pieces. So this is an old basketball coach too. He got a daughter, MB. Put that thing on you. Lil Lauren, what's going on, girlie? What's going on, Lauren? He has a daughter that's a beast out there in these streets. But yeah, LB. So I figure, man, it's hard. It's just hard for me to see them. Or I don't even know what to say about basketball no more, man. You go down 0-2, and then you go 2-0, and then like, do you just scratch those 4 games out? Do they mean anything? Like, how do you even respond to that kind of stuff? This is crazy.
How do you respond to what?
Just the fact that you start out 2-0 blowout, you thinking blowout, but the games weren't blown out. But you thinking, man, they about to run away with this, and then they lose 2 in a row. And then, like I said, remember I said this in the beginning, basketball analysts say you just protect home court, so the 2-2 don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, basically in my mind is they always basically saying, look, steal one of theirs at home and you got the championship.
Right. That's what Milwaukee did. They stole
protect home and steal one.
Right, and that's what they did. They stole one, man. They definitely stole. They stole 2 of them.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, wow. No, I mean, so one got tied up, 2, then now the 2 was it's the side of the series, and then now, so now this thing is it's definitely.
It sure makes you think that home court, at least in basketball, means a whole lot more than maybe what I always thought, MB. If this is the case, I'd love to see the numbers behind it. But I just think this is crazy. Just getting games away is how I see it.
Like, what you mean by that?
The fact that you good enough to go 2-0 and then you bad enough to go 0-2. And not just 0-2, but not 0-3. That just don't make any sense to me. Just don't make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know. I'm curious to see because it seems that it's I mean, you saw with Milwaukee. They did it. They was with the Brooklyn Nets like that, and they came back,
Right. Well, that was a whole nother situation. Again, which is why MB, why ain't nobody bashing Brooklyn the way they bashed the Clippers last year? We were still hearing about the Clippers. The whole for the rest of the call it a tournament because it was played in the bubble, all at Orlando.
Yeah.
The rest of the tournament, we heard nothing but about the Clippers. See, like in every game you watch, they made a reference about the Clippers.
Right. Yeah. Well, obviously, I think my reason is that the Nets had an excuse because they had injuries, guys was hurt, so I guess that's as opposed to the Clippers, man. They was 0-3. They was up 3 games and end up losing. I guess
that's a good excuse. But Jeff came back on. He said, "K-Lou, the Bucks will be equally pressed to close it out at home. They really don't want to go back to Phoenix for a game 7. Where all bets are off." And I can't agree with you more, Jeff. I'm with you, baby. And I really feel like in the Bucks' mind, this game 7, MB. I don't think.
What?
I said in the Bucks' mind, I feel like this game 6, they're gonna play it like game 7.
Oh yeah, no. They're trying to travel out there. They're trying to close this thing out at home. They can taste, out. No. What adjustment you think the Suns need to do to win the game?
Going back to what Lou said, they need to get back to what they did in game 1 and 2. Hot potato. Make that thing fly.
Yeah.
Run pick and roll, and off the pick and roll, move the basketball. I mean, the crazy part is you can't even say Milwaukee didn't play them well. Besides when only game we were like, come on, y'all, is when Brook Lopez was getting rocked to sleep. But defensively, in the games they won and lost, Milwaukee has played really good defense besides that one with Brook Lopez. But and Phoenix was still able to beat them, but they were running pick and roll like you said, and then still moving the ball. Off pick and roll, the first pass still wasn't a shot.
Right.
It was still 2 passes later that the shot came. And I think they're at their best. You said that. Orlando said that. Lou said it. They're at their best when they're doing that.
Right.
I don't know if it's an adjustment, but play like we've been playing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how that's an adjustment.
Do what you did, you know.
And see, that's the crazy part when you start throwing around the superstar label, like they done started talking about Devin Booker like that. That's my problem, because here you go, Monty Williams making a coach's decision to force him to get going, like you talked about again early, MB. But when you're doing that, you're actually out of character as a team. But it's like we got to babysit him to get him going. When, you know, shoot, like a lot of people used to say, and I think you're the one who reminded me of this, MB, maybe last week, is how Michael Jordan, a lot of games would come out there in the first quarter, he don't do nothing but pass it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would get other guys going, because he like, look, when I go. But, you know, that's, to me, Kobe. You know what I mean? There'd be games, Kobe, like, look, we finna get it into the big fella. We finna feed the big fella. He ain't concerned about getting going. He go. When he want to go, he go. You know, and it's just Monty, it seems like, believe it or not, Monty's still trying to develop Devin Booker. Is what it looks like to me, MB.
Yeah. When you say development, you're talking about the force feeding him?
Yeah, he's trying to develop him into those kind of guys, because he's obviously a really good player. But I don't know if you start using a great word. But I think Monty, obviously we all see that in him, but he can't have no playoff game where it's 10 points. How you get 10 points? The guys I'm talking about might hit only 10 from the field and still go to the line and hit 15 more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, you know, a guy that has his ability, his size and shooting skill set, especially, like I said, he's a Klay Thompson that can play in the pick and roll, that can shoot it off the dribble. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so to see your coach have to like say, hey, we running plays, the first 8 plays for you. It's a problem to me, man. When you got such a high level of skill. And for me, MB, like I just said, I think that's him that's Monty Williams babysitting, and Monty Williams trying to develop him into that Kobe, that Michael, that LeBron, you know, that Kareem, that Olajuwon, that Tim Duncan type of attitude, where you need to be good enough to turn on and off based upon, because you still got to get your teammates involved, because you still need them. You either need them early or down the stretch, but you gonna need them.
Right. Yeah, and I have no problem with it, but it just got you. But you can't get away from your bread and butter, and that was I forced him. It affected the other guys, you know.
Right.
And that's the thing. And now you got to what Monty get the thing right. He's man, you know.
Right. So and finally, MB, I'm gonna get on KD, because you know I think the other thing we were gonna talk about gonna be too long. But I said, why does KD care so much about the criticism he getting, MB? And I took a page out of all these politicians and political pundits that be getting no basketball players. Shut up and win. I just don't remember. And of course, this is a time of social media, so they can real time get back in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Get out of there in that crazy world. But MB, I don't remember Kobe spending time arguing with reporters about what they feel about him. I don't remember Michael doing it. But I do remember them being pissed off about it and what they do. I got something for y'all next week. I got something for y'all next game. I mean, the entire Michael Jordan movie or video or documentary, I can't remember what it was called. But that documentary seemed like MB an attack on everybody and everything that was ever said about him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna make y'all pay for this. So he did what KD is doing, but he did it with his play. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, KD, if you go out there and here's what, MB, you want to know what frustrates me by KD and why you think I so-called hate on him? I think he's probably the best built basketball player to have ever been assembled. You know what I'm saying? And of course, people might go straight to his physique. No, I'm talking about you 7 foot and can do every single thing on a basketball court. Who else can do that? Who else have we seen do what he does? 7 foot and there's nothing he can't do. So to me, you should be in the argument, not LeBron with Michael Jordan, but it should be you. So to me, MB, he's underachieving. And that's why I'm like, what is it? He can't be an alpha then. Because it's nothing he can name something KD can't do on the court, MB. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can go at LeBron and tell you what he can't do, but I cannot go at KD. Man, everybody give the title best shooter in the NBA. Everybody go to Steph. I put my money on KD. Sorry, but everybody goes straight to Steph. And to me, he the best shooter in the NBA.
Yeah,
he's so efficient. Look at the number of shots he take and what he make, MB. It's crazy. It's like he's shooting. It's like he's Shaq, MB. How Shaq go out there and shoot 80% from the field because they all dunks. 85%. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's shooting 3 balls and you talk about mid-range and they all giving it to Devin Booker. It's easy. The best mid-range player in the NBA is KD. Easy. Dude, they giving it to a 7-footer and clearing out Golden State for the win. Getting it to a 7-footer and saying everybody cleared out. Get busy, KD. Who's doing that? What other 7-footer, MB, doing that? None. To me,
but I think, like with KD, I mean, obviously he probably feel like he's the best, and you can't pick him out. I mean, like my man say, he wears feelings on his sleeve, but I think he feel he's getting the react. Because remember, right? I mean, he led KD and then he did a move to Golden State Warriors, and everybody was hating him from that team championship. They was talking bad about him, and then now he's in, and everybody right there left, and that's what happened in this last case. This fan would say that he was jealous of Steph and jealous. So he angry, man. Because I feel like you say, he got all that talent, but
all of it, MB,
all that stuff. But he's not getting due respect he felt he deserved. That's my assumption. I don't know him personally, but that's my assumption. Everybody.
I think he deserves. He does what Lou. You right. He wears his feelings on his sleeve, and I keep saying this, but I think he feels like he deserves the same kind of admiration that LeBron gets. But you'll never get that because you're not doing what he does. He's an alpha. And wherever he goes comes the championship. That's what and to me, you're a better player than him. Sorry, y'all. I told y'all I'm not a LeBron guy. I'm a Laker. I keep trying to tell y'all. But KD is frustrating to me, MB, because I remember I used to be huge. All of us played Madden, but I was huge on Madden. But my favorite game was NBA Live, MB. And in NBA Live, you used to be able to create a player. I used to create KD before he ever was in the NBA, man. I used to put a 7'6" dude, you know what I'm saying, that can handle the rock and shoot the three. You know what I'm saying? I was putting guys together like that. That's dunking on people, crossing dudes up. Here this dude walk into the league and he's that. So he was the creative player that I've always played with, to win. And this Joker, you just gotta kill. You just gotta learn. He has to learn to make players better around him. Is his situation. But if you can't do that, because year 14, year 12, probably year 14 in NBA, if it's too late for that, now you got average 50 then. And he's capable of doing that. Go for 50. Every night, go for 50. That way, you gonna win. You ain't gotta worry about it, MB.
Yeah. I just think he feel like he don't get respect, because I feel like he used a cheat code to get the championship, and then because everybody said why he left Golden State, so then now he bringing a lot upon himself because people because I think it's also a book that came out that why he left, and that was one of the comments in the book, if I'm not mistaken, because the fans were cheering louder for Steph. They never really accept them and all that stuff. So people trying to figure out the narrative. There was a different story that came out, So who knows?
Yeah, because you should have did the same thing right where you were in OKC. 36 a night wasn't enough, KD. Go to 45. That ain't enough. Go to 55. He's the only dude I believe can really go for them kind of numbers every night, because he do it without expending a ton of energy, MB. He go down, catch that thing in the high post, free throw, elbow, and then turn and face up and shoot. On a center. On a center.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Who's guarding him? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he's a cheat code. KD, that's why they mad at you. You're a cheat code, and you ain't cheating. So there go what you thought was hate, MB.
Yeah, you hate. You say.
Yeah, I can't do no better than tell you he better than King James to me. I can't do no better than that.
But you say the man. You say man alpha because he technically don't make. You say he's not an alpha because of what? Why is he not?
Because he can't take a situation and win with it. He still never done that. Remember my problem with those three together is not one of them have done it. The closest one to do it really was James Harden. Kyrie was a piece with LeBron. KD was a cheat code to beat LeBron. Like, we got 3 more than they got. You see what I'm saying? Cause he count for 2 of these guys. LeBron count for 2 of these guys, so we're gonna slightly get the edge because of this guy. That's what that was about. Like, to me, you have to beat LeBron. And I mean, at this point, I don't know if it even matters anymore, because if you beat him at year 21, 22, 23, I don't even think that says anything anymore. But he got to run off 3-4 championships, man, to ever get into any great conversation. Think about it, MB. I feel like offensively, and I know people have run the numbers, and LeBron gonna finish high on this, but offensively and unstoppable, to me, man, Mike wouldn't have a chance. And Mike probably one of the best defenders ever to play the game. He ain't got a chance. He's 6'6", he too little. What he gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is he gonna do with KD? Mm-hmm. It's a post up. It's so funny. It's some old tape, I think, from the last Olympics when all the guys were together and they was doing that kind of king of the court one-on-one drill that a lot of basketball teams do. And KD was killing everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you post, it's like one of them things, you keep going one-on-one, and if you score, you stay. If you miss, you switch. Man, he rattled off probably 3-4 times where he going 6 and 7 in a row, MB. And all the
let me ask you this question. When did you start hating on when he left OKC to Golden State?
I never hated on
OKC.
I actually stopped. Like I've always been a KD fan, but where I kind of fell off when I fell off was when he started chirping on social media, and I'm like, for real? That's how you really feel? Man, you don't deserve none of this. You haven't done it. And even when Chuck tried to wave the flag for KD, you ain't gonna put him in none of the conversations of the greats. But you trying to put him against LeBron. But we've never heard KD in a great conversation ever.
Oh no, he's not there yet. He's not there yet, though.
But I think he should be. I think he should have been there before LeBron. That's what I'm telling you. To me, he has way more in his toolkit. Man, LeBron just developed the 3-point shot, MB.
Well,
4 seasons ago.
I think because KD just asked us when he went to Golden State, they look at those championships that he won, those 2, as a question mark. Like not a question mark, the questions, but like a teacup. It's like Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa home runs. It's like it don't count because they're like it was cheated. So they look at it like that because he went to go to state and he could have stayed OKC and his thing there and they would respect him more. But I was just wondering if you start hating on him when to go state.
There you go again. Why is it? Golly, you like them youngins. You hate if you disagree, you hate.
No. You said when he started chirping in the media about da 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 da, you lost respect.
LB, I'm gonna tell you like this. When he was 19 and jumped on the Olympic scene, 19. So he had just gotten out of Texas and hadn't even played a game in the NBA. They throwed him on the USA team for exhibitions. So Kobe on there, Jason Kidd, this crew, right? KD led the team with 30, man, against his first game ever playing with them. Came off the bench and lit Serbia up for 30. Why wouldn't you think? He ain't even touched the NBA court yet. He done played 1 year in Texas, and then this the summertime. And he lit them up for 30 on a team with superstars, LeBron on there. Why wouldn't you think that his future is going to be one of the greatest ever?
No doubt. I'm with you. I was just wondering when you start hating on him. That's all. I think if he would have, if he'd have won that third championship, not get hurt, it would have helped. But still, would have been. They still would have questioned. You know, it's still been asterisked by his championship. You know, he still wouldn't be in the GOAT champion. You got to win more championships. And he don't have enough to be in that conversation.
I think we ended again, MB, but I don't think you read Lou whole comment. You said you agree with KD wearing his feelings on his sleeve, but you see what he said at the end? Just kill. Mm-hmm. And I think that's all. Like, KD, instead of responding and going back and forth with all these people and not living your best life,
right, just kill it.
Just kill, man.
Well, you start hating, that's all.
Well, we appreciate y'all for pulling up, stopping through, hollering at us because you know us. With MB and K Lou sideline to baseline. Listen, y'all, we gone.
We gone.